Allison, don't you run off. All right, where's Allison now? No, he went that way. Better make sure he's not headed for the door.
David, I will get with you. Oh. And I also have something. Maybe I'll just get Billy to sign it for me.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. You've got a real good microphone, I can tell already. But it is my pleasure to welcome you as president of the Rotary Club of Tyler to our Thursday afternoon meeting. And this is my last day to serve as your president, my last meeting. That's right. The dictatorial reign of that two-bit thug, Bill Pascal, ends today. And I've got some more good news. Allison Camray is here, okay? I would like Greg Palka. I want Greg, if he tries to get out that door, you tackle him, okay? Same thing with you guys over here. Emmett, if he tries to leave, I want you guys to chase him down and bring him back. I thought seriously about bringing one of my old pairs of handcuffs down here and handcuff him to the piano so that he can't escape. But it is good to see everybody. Let me get my glasses here. I've been missing a pair of glasses for about a week. Found them today when I put this jacket on. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and make sure the cell phones, pagers are turned off. And at this time, I want to thank Derek Bondurant for the nice table decorations and the tablecloths, what have you. And I want to go ahead and bring her up here for the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you please stand?
We're going to sing, by the way, we're going to sing two verses. We're going to do the first stanza of the national anthem like we always do. The second stanza, Derek's going to take that one by herself. But the last two lines of the national anthem, you already know what they are, so just sing them like you mean it. There you go, Lee.
Oh, beautiful. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight hearts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's tremor, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, if our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Jeff. Well done.
And now let's bring up, please remain standing, and I want to bring up past President David Nichols for our invocation and introductions. Dr. Nichols.
Coming. I got a little emotional singing that because we have so much to be thankful for.
Amen.
And we also have some challenges ahead. So let's bow in prayer. God, we do thank you for our wonderful country. Thank you for this opportunity to celebrate. Thank you for our club, the freedom to assembly, the wonderful community we live in, our families. We offer our thanks to you, God. We pray now that you might speak to each one of us, that we may be more determined to serve you and to serve our fellow man. In Christ I pray, amen.
Amen.
May be seated. We have any Rotary. Such a good microphone. Have any Rotary visitors today from other Rotary clubs? Speak up. Anywhere. Rotary members from another club. No wonder we're called the Rotary Club of God. How about some guests? Let's start over here and come around the way. We'll come back to this table.
I brought a guest,
Go right ahead.
my wife, Kim.
Oh. Are you glad to get him back home?
It's always good to have Bill around.
How about back here in the corner?
You believe that? I got a watch I want to sell you.
Anybody back here? Yes, come around the corner. Speak up, stand up, good.
The Rotary Chapter is my friend, considering membership.
Glad to
All
have
right.
you. Bill Clyde, you bring anybody today? I didn't think so. Next. Anybody around here?
I don't know if you call me a guest or not.
What do we call you? You used to come all the time. Stand up, tell them who you are, and tell them you're glad to be here.
Susan Elliott, and LaRue is my sister-in-law.
Bill, you want to come back and take over?
I got a guest.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm truly honored to have the dear friend of mine, Mike Young, is here. Stand on that, Mike. He's a considered membership.
All right.
We appreciate y'all coming today. Thank you.
Oh,
He ready to make a speech, wasn't he?
well, he was just gonna tell you what he does. That's
Tell
okay.
us what you do.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want to, well, my name is Michael Yanes, and I own a flooring and remodeling company out here in South Tyler on Old Jacksonville, about 5 minutes south of Fresh. So, I was a part of the other Rotary for a while, and then I took a little break, and so Rachel invited me here.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nichols. And we certainly do welcome our visitors here today. I want to thank our greeters, Claudia Carroll, Mary Birch. Y'all stand up, be recognized. Thank you both very much. And let me see, we already thanked Derek for the tablecloths and floral decorations. We're not going to head this week in history. Paul Glasser had business that came about all of a sudden. So we'll just go on to the business. We've got the Camp V Air Fest, July the 1st at Tyler Pounds Field. And we're going to set up this afternoon, so if you can turn out and assist, that would just be great. Our next meeting of the new Rotary year with your new president is July the 14th. And we will not meet next Thursday. We go dark for the 4th of July. And so now it's time to present the Rotarian of the Year Award. And this individual, in my mind, has earned this in spades. Every time I have asked this person to do something, this person does it. I met some Rotarians at the convention that were having some issues with a particular project that we're involved in heavily. And, but they just can't seem to get the traction that they need. And this individual has been very, very active. She pretty much saved the Christmas parade this year. She has been invaluable with Ryla. And as I say, every time I ask this person to do something, she has done it. I've even volunteered her without asking to help some other clubs. So I please welcome this year's Rotarian of the Year, named 1 O'Clock John Childs, Mary Birch.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. I'm shaking to death. Thank you.
Mary, you earned every bit of that. You don't need to be modest. You earned every bit of it. So now let's just run through the review of last year, okay? These are not my accomplishments. These are things that we did. The year started off rather difficult for us as a club and for me as club president. We had some disagreements with some folks at the district level, but we stuck together. We made our point. We stood up for our principles. We welcomed our district governor, Mike Broom, at the start of the Rotary year. We had a mixer with the Tyler Young Professionals Network and Hobbies, which was just an absolute riot. We had our World Polio Day Double Up campaign, and we raised nearly $2,200. You guys should give yourself a hand for that. The Christmas parade this year was a huge success. And again, Mary was the one that pretty much saved that. It wasn't getting done. We weren't making the progress. And Mary just jumped in and she took the bull, grabbed the bull by the horns, and she made it happen. We rang the bell for the Salvation Army, raised quite a bit of money. We had our East Texas Communities Foundation endowment. It reached $122,652.33. We had a very nice Christmas social at Bill and Donna Kroon's house.
We live stream our meetings now on YouTube, for better or for worse. We've had lots of trainings at the district level. We had a wonderful foundation banquet. We installed our district officers. We had RILA training at Tyler High School via Zoom. We had RILA in-person camp for the first time since the pandemic, which was great. And we had the Tyler Rotary Young Citizens Banquet at the Rose Center. We had 344 attendees. And guys, I got a lot of compliments on that. You guys were absolutely, you guys performed wonderfully well. We got a lot of compliments from parents, students, and the educators that were there. We had our fall social at True Vine with the East Texas Symphony Orchestra. Bourbon and barbecue at Jack and Janelle Pollard's house. How many of you can remember that? Okay, all right. Volunteer hours from our Rotarians. We had over 7,200 volunteer hours with the following organizations: Christus, Mother Francis, SCORE, Therapet, Camp V, Rotary Club, the Tyler Christmas Parade, the Boy Scouts, the Tyler PD, Outstanding High School Senior Student Recognition, RILA training, the East Texas Food Bank, the Woods Homeowners Association, Salvation Army Bell Ringing, East Texas Human Needs Network, Tyler Rotary Young Citizens Club, the First Tee, Knights of Columbus, St. Vincent de Paul, St. Gregory School, Camp Phantom, Camp V, First Baptist Church, Historic Tyler, his Honor Flight DFW, Better Business Bureau, RILA, Bethesda, Cavalry Commission, Highway 80, Champions for Children, Tyler Young Professionals Network, American Miniature Horse Association, United Way, Leadership Tyler, Tyler Chamber of Commerce, Workability International, Goodwill, Global Good Fund, Tyler Zoning Board of Appeals, and Marvin United Methodist Church. Our community donations exceeded $27,000. DM Edwards, our Rotary Foundation president, will provide the details on that. We gained 18 new members.
Whoa.
At the district convention last Saturday. It was announced that we were the second fastest growing club in the district. Guys, a lot to be proud of. We keep doing what we're doing. It's not going to be long before we are the biggest club in District 5830. We had some, let me see here. There we go. Club group volunteer events. We had a coat drive at people attempting to help. Bethesda Clinic, Hangers of Hope, Champions for Children, packets for the teachers, and the Hand Up Network. And we had an end of year social last week at the home of Bill and Donna Kroon. Let's make sure I got everything here. Yep, looks like we're good. Looks like we're good. So we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. And I'm trying to go fast here. One thing that I want to just mention, when I first came to this club, I was a guest of a gentleman who was no longer in our club. But one of the greeters that particular day was Dr. Bill Clyde. And when I saw him, that was a good indicator that maybe this is something I need to be a part of. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I may have mentioned it last year, but Dr. Clyde and his first wife, Lenora, his late wife, Lenora, they were very, very good friends with my late mother and dad. And when I saw Bill Clyde, I thought, man, this is a blast from the past right here. Dr. Clyde has been a Rotarian for 57 years. We're very proud of that.
Wow.
Very proud of that. Last year, when I came before you as your new president, I spoke to you about a documentary that I saw on television, and it was about life aboard an aircraft carrier. And one of the reporters walked up to a pilot who had just landed. He had been out bombing Afghanistan or Iraq or someplace. But the reporter goes up, sticks the microphone in his face and said, "Hey, what's it like having the most important job on the boat?"
And that pilot just said, this is not the most important job on the boat. There are no unimportant jobs. He said, I couldn't drop ordnance if I didn't have somebody that cooks my food or puts the bombs on the plane or fuels it. We couldn't do what we do if we didn't have a navigator to get us where we needed to be. It all takes, he said, none of it works unless all of it works. And the same can be said for Rotary. Rotary was founded in 1905. Our club was chartered in 1920. There are over 34,000 Rotary chapters throughout the world. And at the very top of our charter right here, our number is 709. We were the 709th Rotary Club. And it has been an honor to me to be a part of this club and to be this club's 122nd president. There are no unimportant Rotary chapters. There are no unimportant Rotarians. None of it works unless all of it works, and this club works very well. I've learned that very well this past year. And I thank you guys for everything you've done. At this point, I want to bring up the Rotary Foundation President, Dr. D.M. Edwards, for his review of the past year.
Thank you, President Bill, for that wonderful report on the last year. Before we talk about the Tyler Rotary Foundation and the Rotary International Foundation, I want to take just a moment, give you all a special invitation for this evening out at the True Vine Brewing Company out on Earl Campbell Parkway. The East Texas Symphony Orchestra is presenting a free concert there in the pavilion at True Vine Brewing. Begins at 6:30 p.m. tonight, and the program is Latin beats, so there'll be a lot of great music, maybe even some dancing going on. If you've been out to True Vine before, you're familiar with the Solar Bread baking company there that does the brick oven pizza pies. So although the program starts at 6:30, if you want a oven baked pizza, you might want to get there by about 5:45 to get your order in. Let's talk just a moment about the Tyler Rotary Foundation. As Bill mentioned to you, during the last year, our club has provided a total of $27,158.11 during the Rotary year, 1 July through today, June 30th. Let me give you the breakdown of all the organizations that our club as a total have benefited through our foundation. We provided a $500 contribution to the Literacy Council of Tyler. We provided a $500 sponsorship to the TJC golf tournament last September. We provided $2,000 for the Bethesda Dental Clinic to sponsor 2 different times for patients in that facility. Last December, the Salvation Army Angel Tree bicycles at Pollard Methodist Church, our foundation and members provided a total of $665 for the bicycles. The Guatemala Women's Maternity Hospital, our club provided a $5,000 contribution to help air condition and to repair the plumbing in the hospital. For our recent Tyler Rotary Young Citizens Club Awards banquet in April, our foundation underwrote a total to help sponsor that event of $11,877.11 out at Camp B, and I hope many of you will be out for the air show tomorrow. Our foundation and our membership provided the funds for the remodeling for the kitchen facility and the woman's building out at Camp B, a total of $6,616. That included all the new kitchen appliances. And for the upcoming 22-23 year, when Pamela Walters will be our president of the Tyler Rotary Foundation, we had to submit in June the district designated funds grant, And there's an eye clinic in Guatemala that will be partnering with the Rotary Club of Marshall on this project. It's a $10,000 project. Our club through the district is providing $5,000, and the Marshall Rotary Club will be providing a $5,000 contribution. We want to take a moment to thank Texas College that just made a corporate donation for our Tyler Rotary Foundation and also for the Rotary International Foundation. Thank you so much to Texas College. And then on the Rotary International Foundation, many of you all know it had its beginning in 1917. They had $26.50 left over from the Rotary Convention in Atlanta, Georgia in 1917. They used that $26.50 to start the Rotary International Foundation. And then when Paul Harris died in 1947, they created the Paul Harris Fellowship in his honor and his memory, and that was a major influx of funds to the foundation. We continue to receive those donations. At this moment, I want to take just a little time to ask all in our club, the Tyler Rotary Foundation, we have what's called a Billy Hibbs Senior Fellow. If you give $1,000 or more to the work of our local foundation, would all of the Billy Hibbs Senior Fellows in our club please join me in standing, and let's give all of them a nice round of applause. And then back to the work of Polio Plus. Many of you longtime Rotarians know that since 1987, Rotary International has been working on the eradication of polio with the World Health Organization. In the last 10 or 12 years, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been matching every dollar that Rotary raises 2 for 1. So if we raise $50 million every year, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation will give $100 million to it. We're down to the point now of having less than 50 cases of polio internationally, worldwide. When Rotary started in 1987 on that, they were having approximately 360,000 cases of polio every year. So we've gone from 1,000 a day to less than 50 a year. It's been wonderful. We have several first-time and additional Paul Harris Fellows. I'd like to ask all of those that are here to stand. Our first-time recipients as Paul Harris Fellows are Patty Eccles and Austin Luce. If you would stand. Paul Harris +2, Jim Blair Jr., if you would stand. And Paul Harris +4, Pamela Walters. What Rotary is continuing to work on is the job to eliminate polio is drawing nearer. Rotary is also working on clean water and sustainable agriculture projects around the world. At this time, I'd like to recognize all of the Paul Harris Fellows in our club. Would you all stand that we might give them all a round of applause? Thank you so much, and I'll turn the program back over to our outgoing president.
All right, thank you, Dr. Edwards, for that outstanding report. And again, Rotary, you should be proud of what you have done this year. Now it's time to present the Director Awards. Thank you, Holly, for bringing those up here. I want to bring up Jennifer Dobbins, who served as our club treasurer this year. Dr. D.M. Edwards, our foundation president. Rochelle Urett. Fran Hall, the director of new members. Come on.
Thank
David Jones, Director of New Members. There you go, David, thank you. Trudy Williams, Director of Community Service. Bill Croom, is he here today?
No, it's the airport.
Oh, he's at the airport. Some people just use any excuse to skip over, you know? All right, we'll give this to Bill next week, or no, we won't give it to it next week, 2 weeks. Colby McElwee, President nominee, Director of International Service. Jim Robertson, Director of International Service. Emmett Patel, Director of Vocational Service. Jim, thank you. Robert Wells, Director of Vocational Service. You go, Emmett. Robert. Mary Birch, Director of Youth Service. Mary's just wearing out the carpet from back there and up here. Katie Hall, Youth Service. Katie. Ashley Wilson, who is Director of Public Image. She's not here today. Susan Stewart is at the Year Fest. She is, somebody put a Post-it note right there. Yeah, she gets a certificate of appreciation. And Kathy Adams, certificate of appreciation. Yeah, Kathy's really the assistant. Put up with my bad jokes. By the way, I've got one more bad joke I want to tell you guys before I do it. Yeah, you guys knew it was just too good to be true, you know? And then I want to bring it up.
We're still waiting to hear good news about health insurance.
Hey.
You're looking at, look, I got Kim for this, Billy. I don't need you to. There's a guy, a friend of mine, back in the day, he bought himself a brand new Corvette, okay? And he's driving eastbound on 20. He's going to go to Shreveport. He wants to have a nice Mexican dinner and gamble at the casinos. So he is just flying down Interstate 20. I mean, he's upwards of 100, 120. And sure enough, he comes over this hill, and there's a state trooper. So the state trooper lights up his lights and everything like that, and he finally gets the guy pulled over, and the guy didn't want to stop. He didn't want to stop. State trooper gets out and he walks up to the phone, and he said, okay, look, guy, you're doing 130 miles an hour. He said, it's 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. He said, I'm getting ready to take off the rest of the day. I get to go home for the weekend. He said, if you can give me a real creative excuse, I might just let you off with a verbal warning. So why are you driving so fast? And he said, well, I'll be honest with you. He said, back in the day, my ex-wife ran off with a state trooper that looks a lot like you. And I thought you were him trying to bring her back. I also want to bring up the certificate to Dr. Allison Camry, who truly is the world's greatest president-elect. Okay, perfect attendance awards. Some of these aren't here. Bill Croom, again, skipping Rotary. All right, Donna Croom, yeah, she's with Bill. Rochelle Ewert. Perfect attendance. Katie Hall, perfect attendance. Colby McElwee, come on, Colby, perfect attendance. Robert Wells, perfect attendance. Congratulations. John Miguez at the Air Fest. Allison Camry, perfect attendance for this past year. Holly Lewis, perfect attendance. And who? Bill Michelle. Who's that guy? Jeez. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel there, I'll tell you what. Pamela Walters, perfect attendance. Mary Birch. Come on up, Mary. Perfect attendance for Mary Birch. David Jones. Here you go, David. Perfect attendance for you. Emma Patel, perfect attendance. Paul Glasser, who is not here today because of business. Fran Hall, perfect attendance for last year. Dr. D.M. Edwards, perfect attendance. What is this, like your 23rd, 24th year perfect attendance, DM? 26 years, wow. Jim Bland, perfect attendance. Jim's not here. Okay, so we'll get all those next week. All right. And now I want to bring up past District Governor Lee Montgomery. Woo! You come up for Lee? Yes, Lee. I know where you live. And I also would like to have all past presidents of this club to stand up and please be recognized. And Lee, the microphone is yours, sir.
Thank you, Bill.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Well, thank you, Lee.
What a great year.
Yes.
Congratulations to the Tyler Rotary Club.
Rotary Club of
Michael, it was Rotary Club of South Tyler, just in case any memory slips of South Tyler. Yes. The other Rotary Club. But that's okay. We're all Rotarians. But I made notes. It's my pleasure, and I'd like to thank Allison and Bill for inviting me here to be with you today, just to share this time. What a great time to just have fellowship, be in the land of the free, home of the brave. How many veterans do we have in the room? Would you please stand? Be recognized. Thank you. That flag's heavy if you hold it up for the whole national anthem. Let me tell you. And yes, thank you, Derek. That was wonderful. I have not heard that in a long time. So it's my honor to induct the incoming officers, the president and the directors. And with that, if you would do a small assembly, please, Allison, come up and bring your directors and member chairs, secretary, treasurer, service chairs, foundation chairs. This will save time instead of doing things individually. We'll just kind of get everybody at once. As they're assembling, I'd like to recall one thing. We just had the district installation over at the Watley Center in Pittsburgh last Saturday. A gentleman by the name of Robert Thompson came down and gave a keynote. Robert's a past district governor. He's also an ordained minister. He's a friend of mine. I found out that we were both in the United States Army Field Artillery. We went through ROTC, both distinguished military grads, and served as redlegs, as we refer to ourselves. Thank you. Shot over. But he gave an outstanding speech. He went through the vision of Rotary. I'm not going to go through that. But what I want to get to is his scripture reference. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10. Each of you, and I'm talking about all of us, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. That's what Rotarians do, right? We do God's work in the world. That's what John Germ said one time. And it struck me to have somebody at the RI president level sum it up just that way. It stuck with me 6 years ago and it still resonates today. So I look forward to your year doing God's work, good works in Tyler and on the international scale. Okay,
You were looking for the banner that I don't
I
have.
was looking for the banner that you don't have yet. Soon to be.
I knew what that was.
You better discipline her, Allison.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'll give you one if you don't have one. But anyway, okay. So, Allison, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay.
Good answer.
One more question. Allison, please state your full name. I
I, Allison Cambry,
do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the office
execute the office
of the President
of the President
of the Rotary Club of Tyler
of the Rotary Club of Tyler,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
support the District Governor and Rotary International,
support the District Governor and Rotary International,
and that I will uphold
and that I will uphold
the Constitution and bylaws of this club.
the Constitution and bylaws of this club.
Thank you for your future service, sir. Bill Pascal just broke out the biggest smile of the Okay, Mr. Pascal. And you'll be happy you did.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, for the officers and directors, please join me and state your names, please.
I,
No, you gotta go down all the way. Get everybody. No. Do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
that I will fulfill
that I will fulfill
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
in the Rotary Club of Tyler
in the Rotary Club of Tyler
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
that I will support President Allison
that I will support President Allison
and will abide
and will abide
by our club's constitution and bylaws.
by our club's constitution and bylaws.
You are duly sworn in as club president and officers of the Rotary Club of Tyler. If you haven't read, and I'm sure you have, you got the Rotary magazine, saw the stunning picture of Jennifer Jones on the front with purple tennis shoes. And yes, ladies, that is a fashion statement. I don't know if Academy has purple tennis shoes, but run out and get some. But Imagine Rotary is our theme. So I know you will imagine greater things, greater membership, greater giving, greater support, greater service to the community and to the world. So I wish you well, all the good things for the coming year. And we are so glad to share the community as the other Rotary Club in town. We have a little formality to go through.
Okay, now we can sit down.
Bill, would you come forward? I want to present to Bill the Past President's Award. There is a gavel here. It says Rotary on it. Bill Pascal, President, Rotary Club of Tyler, 2021 to 2022. Here is a new name tag for you that shows that you're past president of Rotary, and also a pin.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
I got something for you. Set this down. It's right in here. Several years ago, you, Pamela Walters, Dr. D.M. Edwards, and I, we traveled to Longview to watch Jack Welge be sworn in as district governor. Somebody took a picture of the four of us. And I want to give this to you. It's a picture of, to the left to right, it's Pam, DM, myself, and Allison, the current president and the three immediate past presidents. And I wanted you to have this. Ken,
I'll leave it up here on the podium if you want to look at it.
I have one last thing I need to do. Lee, would you come up here and join me? Yes, sir. It is my honor to pass you this gavel.
Thank you.
If I can be of service, Mr. President, don't hesitate to call.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have one more thing. As you imagine Rotary and you imagine bigger things, greater things, and based on sort of the current cultural climate in the United States, I know we're going for a kinder, gentler, we need kindness, right? We need gentle in our lives. So with that in mind, and because you're going to imagine great things, big things, wow things, colorful things in the future, I have another gavel. So you can rule and call the club to order. I don't know that it'll ring the bell. But it'll do a good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This reminds me of the Batman days of television. Thank you, Lee. Thank you very much.
You can threaten the directors with that.
Yeah, all right. I'm supposed to give now sort of my, I guess, incoming speech, which is very short. It's not going to be long, but this is sort of what I've assembled and put together. It really surprised me, and I looked at every place that I could find the word imagine, where it occurred in the Hebrew scriptures and in the Greek scriptures of the Old and New Testaments. And much to my astonishment, every place where the word imagine was used was a negative context. I wasn't prepared to see that. I couldn't believe it. And perhaps that has a lot to do with the root and core of the word imagine, which is the Latin word imago. And imago, in its primitive sense, means image. And of course, the biblical narrative has a lot of problems with images, which really begins back in the with the 10 Commandments, this whole use of images and the negative influence of it. But our theme for this coming year is Imagine Rotary. So I still want to try to approach it from a positive point of view. Let's think, ponder, meditate, suppose, fabricate, and guess about this word imagine. Here, what could we do? if we harnessed the energy and apply it to the Rotary Club of Tyler. As we look at that, what is it that might emerge? We all know that Rotary is not a religion. We know that Rotary is not a political party. But because we value at its essence service above self, we're able to go places that those other two institutions are not able to go. Take just part of our mission statement that contains the word goodwill. For example, Rotary, as you've already heard documented a couple of times already this afternoon, has done an immense amount of goodwill worldwide in tackling and in nearly eradicating polio, infantile paralysis. Because of our efforts, because of the efforts of the Rotary Club of Tyler, you have been a vital part in saving more than 16 million children worldwide since we began this effort in 1987. That's the combined total of the population of New York and Chicago and Los Angeles and Houston. You've been a part of that. Or let's look at a more local understanding of that word, that concept. We've been part of work that has helped to sustain the Ministry of Bethesda, Hangers of Hope, Helping Hands, work at the border, clinics down in Central America, hope and healing to our veterans, to name just a few. We help with making the Christmas parade happen each year, which benefits our community. Or think about even our work with the youth. RILA, a superior, life-changing program for young people who are in high school. There's also the recognition that we do every spring, in which we put on for some of the top students of our local high schools in Smith County and colleges as well. Rotarians worldwide, in just another aspect, have raised over $15 million to address the needs of the refugees of Ukraine with very tangible supplications with respect to food and clothing and shelter and medicine. One of the things you discover about Rotary the longer you are in it is Rotary at its finest comes together oftentimes like a family, irrespective of whatever petty squabbles we may have, to address real, tangible humanitarian needs. Currently, as you've already heard documented today, we are the #2 club in membership in our particular district. If we were to take in just 25 more people in this next coming 12 months, we would be #1. And already we have members in our constituency and members of our board who want to work on that very issue. We're pumped up, we're fired up. We have a growing dynamic club. Why? Not just because it's a numbers game, but rather because we can influence better, for the good, the community life that we find in Tyler. Part of getting there, though, will be continuing to make better connection with baby boomers and Generation X and the millennials and Generation Alpha in a way that they speak through things like mixers, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Even stodgy old Brooks Brothers uses all of those media. And who knows, maybe we can even use well-placed PSAs. And I'm sorry Paul isn't here, on KTVB, I was gonna say that. The Rotary Club, more than what we say, more than what we believe, in a lot of ways, it's what we do. Being part of the Rotary Club of Tyler ensures that when you are part and parcel of us, you're surrounding yourself with a group of people who think and say and do things to help us all survive for a better day. It is with utter humility that I accept the gavel, the torch of being your president for the next 12 months. May God help us all. Thank you. JB3, Ace of Diamonds. Give us our statistics on it.
All right. We have 33 cars and $2,781.
That's a useful amount of money.
Yeah, Holly gave me my bill and reminded me it's due. So I bought some tickets, but, oh wow, boy.
Let's let our past district governor
Yes,
pull the ticket.
You drop one, Jim.
Drop one.
You drop one.
That was mine.
Whoa.
That was it.
All right, Nate, help me out here.
Shake it up, shake it up. Here we go. Polaroid. What you read?
Last three letters, numbers,
Letters?
numbers.
526.
Oh my God.
Who's 526?
You seriously did pull mine.
What?
Okay.
You can pay me later.
Tuition for 2 kids.
Now, I want to make sure I'm understanding the agenda right. I should have checked with you ahead of time on this. Is Pam supposed to do the four-way test? Is that what it's
No,
saying?
you do the 4-way test.
Okay, well, it says here, of the things we think, say, or do, President Pamela Walters.
Oh, and that's probably because I did not edit that.
I did not want to steal her thunder or her glory if she was supposed to be up here. Well, then let us stand for our four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it true?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will build goodwill and better friendship.
fourth.
Will be beneficial to all concerned.
We are adjourned.
We're at last.